And I mean, if they have removal, that's really good for them, but we still get the enchantment part. And if they don't, I think we won the game. They cannot outvalue this. Like, look at this stuff, man. Man, this is actually cheating. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm drawing 3 cards just by hitting his face. We pump this one. Every pump on the lifelink is easier and easier. Alright, we're pumping it to absolute oblivion. Alright, that was the card that wins the game, by the way. Alright, they just drew 3 extra cards. I mean, this is definitely some geeks creator stuff, but we'll make it work, maybe. I hope. I really hope. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today one of the best decks in the format. This Azorius will guaranteed get you to Mythic. It's extremely powerful, it's very action-packed, and you are actually drawing way more cards than with control decks, so I think you will like it. Basically, what is going on, Tracker draws you cards every time you play Enchantment. It has Flash, which is insane. That means your opponent doesn't realize that when you untap, you are flooding them with value. Other than this, we have Innocence that draws cards when small creature enters the battlefield, which is basically the whole deck, and Enduring Curiosity means that every time you hit face, you get the card. So as you can see, you have so many ways to draw a card, and the enchantments are insanely powerful. Shelter by Ghost is a powerhouse. The card is incredibly busted. You pay 2 mana, you get buff to the creature, you get lifelink, worth 2, and it's also a removal on top of everything else. With Ethereal Armor, you can leverage this lifelink to hit for like 10, 15, or even 20, so after one hit the game basically ends against any kind of aggro deck. With Tamer you have tokens that flood the board, and you can even play the Lair, which is also enchantment, triggering all of those eerie synergies. So the deck is very fun, very action-packed, and extremely powerful. I mean, what more to ask, and the games today will be very intense, so I hope you will like it. Have fun, guys, and enjoy! We are going first. We have a lot of tap lands, but we can make them work. So let's start with this one on blue. We should probably start with Hallcreeper because it will draw a card instantly, and it will be an absolute pain for our opponent. Tamer will be better later when we can play a land after it directly. So if we kill this, they kinda forces a reaction, and unless they have 2 removal spells at 1 mana each, the Tamer should get the value from Lair. We will see, but that's the plan. Oh my god, the bat! At least it cannot hit my land, and we have double Tamer, so it actually is pretty good for us. I think it's fine. I think it is fine. We will still probably draw a card, right, with Hallcreeper. It's still, keeps going, basically. Oh, this is an interesting one. Let's play that. Well, I guess we need to decide this one. I can make a copy and get double Tamer. Is that good enough? I don't think it is. I think we attack, we draw a card, and we see what happens. We need this small card advantage every turn, and Hallcreeper will keep making this card advantage. Now we go Tamer. Our mana is just perfect. And now we play Enchantment. Do I need double blue? I mean, yep. Yep, we do. And we're getting some small advantages. You can see that our board looks just a little bit better. However, our hand looks a little bit worse, so we need to mitigate it. We can go another Tamer into Hallcreeper potentially, getting 3 creatures on 1 turn. If they use map token, that would be very slow for them. They need some better tempo plays. Mockingbird on what? The bat is annoying, but it's not the end of the world, to be absolutely honest. Our board is pretty solid already. Like, at some point they will start to answer this. And we are still drawing a card a turn, which can be enchantment at every point. What was this? Sure. I don't think that's the biggest deal. But of course they needed to choose something. This is a nice one, but is that good enough? So this could be a copy, and we get more creatures this way. Yeah, I think, well, we can just go with the Tamer. And then we don't get a value. Okay, so I think we attack first. We see what happens. Everything has flying, so it's better to be aggressive here. We copy the Tamer. This way we get better value when we play this. And we see what we draw. And we can start doing cards again on the next turn, while also triggering our... Like, you can see that slowly but surely those tokens really make our board way bigger. And our opponent is great at interrupting our stuff, but they're not doing too much stuff on their own. Alright, they just drew 3 extra cards. I mean, this is definitely some geeks creator stuff, but we'll make it work maybe. I hope. I really hope. So, what is the play? We can make a lot of tokens here and just try to go for, you know, a huge swing. We could go further, but they see it. That's the big problem here. I think we attack and see what happens. They cannot block very well here. The problem is that they know about it, so they will never block it, right? They will never block it. They just blocked it. Sure. I think this is good for us. We're getting a lot of extra value here. Okay, this is a very strong card. Alright, with this, I think we should be able to get somewhere. Do we want to draw another card? It's so tempting. We could also make another Tamer, so we get more value every turn. And get rid probably of this bat with Curiosity. Oh man, we cannot block with those tokens, but we can try to overwhelm them. I actually think this is better. They're still drawing cards, but they need to, you know, somehow go through everything. Alright, and let's get this one. This one is too slow, I think. This one at least has instant benefit, and it can also block flyers. So I think it's a little bit better, and they don't have any kind of sweeper probably. Maybe they have like 1 or 2 Geeks Command in the whole deck, but okay. If they had Geeks Command, that's how it would start. Maybe they are just trying to draw those cards. They can play the 5th land and Geeks Command, which would be a problem. Bat is acceptable, you know. The second bat and the actual third bat. Where's the Mockingbird? Here it is, absolutely mocking me for the bat fear. Still, they need to stop the onslaught, and they only have 1/1s. They definitely need to do something here. Huh. Alright, let's start. And see what happens. They might have a counter spell, but that means they are not doing anything else. Alright, we make a token, so we draw a card, unless they kill it. Alright, that's, you know, that's a start. Extremely bad draw, unfortunately, so that's a big problem for us. But we can start using those tokens, and as you can see, they are taking over a little bit. Sure, it has 1 toughness, so not the biggest deal. Is that really the play? Sure. Alright. Alright, and we will play the coast. The problem is that we are a bit overdrawing lands here, so we cannot fuel the whole thing for the future. So that's a bit of a problem. They decided it will be a Gremlin bird. Still, they have what? 9, 10 creatures and they're on 4 life. The lifelink from bats actually helped, man. This is the third bat already, right? Alright, they stole basically the whole hand. So that's definitely a bit of a problem. There's also a problem that every bat kind of protects against 2 tokens. But here it's interesting. Is that enough? We can attack with 9, 10 creatures. So what do they want to do with the rest of the mana? They need to create some blockers. They will go up to 7. Is that enough, man? Alright, how do we do it? How do we do it? We can draw a card with this, so let's start. Is that on the Tamer? Is that on the Tamer? No, we want it on token. This way they need to remove it. They definitely have a removal, right? Alright, not. So we will create a creature and draw a card, which is nice. Okay, this is extremely good one. We're not drawing any more cards, but we can remove one of the blockers. And potentially cast the Gremlin. Yep. I think, man, what do they have? They have so many cards. So we target this way they get 1 lifelink less, and now we can play a creature as well. So it will increase the power on the next turn, if there is a next turn. Now they don't have lifelink, we attack with everything. And now there's no target for the bat, so even if they get it back, sure, 1 creature, I think they need more than this. They also need to trade everything into our attackers. That's why those 1/1s were so important from the start. You remember in the early game we had 3 extra tokens? Those are the tokens that are just winning the game right now. I mean, you don't have a choice, you need to block 2 more, right? This has to be blocked and 1... Oh, he's at 6, he's actually dead anyway. Even if he blocks everything. I mean, you know, I don't want to be mean, but... I think we see the writing. Like, there's no other decision. He needs to block with everything and see if that was enough. Right, so this is the moment when we are dealing the final damage. And guys, let's enjoy the show. Even 4 bats in a row couldn't make it. Alright, we are going first. We don't have the right mana, but we have the coast. So I will try it, draw a card with Hallcreeper and go from there. Yeah, I think that should be good enough. We have Glimmer, but we don't have mana to play it right now. Let's see if they can... Okay, this is interesting. This is very interesting. We could go for white mana here and go for Innocence on the next turn. Yeah, this is risky, but I think it's worth it. So let's go double white here. Because then we will start getting the draw engine for the rest of the game. And our opponent is not super quick, so we can absolutely punish it. Even if they kill it, it's fine. And now we can start getting all the sweet value, especially if sheltered by ghosts. We should be able to negate whatever they have. They kinda need to kill it, to be honest. And even if they do, we can still go Glimmer into Hallcreeper. Do we have the right mana? No, we need double blue for this play. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so let's start with this one, shall we? We could also go for this to... You know what? Oh, we need triple cord, so that's not it. Let's just start with this. Drawing a card. Oh, I hoped for land, that would be way better. First strike. Is that worth it? I think so, This way we start the damage, and it makes a difference, because at some point they will need to kill us, so then we can fully ignore it. Not exactly sure what they will do with this. Gruul. But it seems to be like a control version, ramp control, so maybe a Tally. A Tally would definitely fit this deck. Or maybe the Terror of the Peaks and just try to go for 1 turn kill. Yep, this feels like the Terror of the Peaks thing. And they will invest 2 cards to kill this, alright, that's some serious respect. And that means that Hallcreeper will stay, and that should be good enough. We can get rid of the Overlord as well with this, while pumping the Hallcreeper. Alright, let's see. Very good draw. This is really good. And now we can go with the Tracker if we feel that we have time. We could also go Glimmer into Sheltered. Get rid of this, but we're not doing too much then. We could copy the Tracker with this, but then they can kill it probably. Alright, so we will just draw a card and see what happens. If we draw something cheap, that could be really good for us. Okay, this is a really good draw, to be absolutely honest. Oh, but I named the wrong mana. Because we need Tracker more than anything. And then we will draw 2 cards on the next turn. Alright, I think this is good enough. Yep. And we go absolutely crazy on the next turn. So they have this 1 turn to do something, but they're on 6 mana. And I guess they have Smuggler's Surprise, right? I think this is the deck. Yep, they are preparing for the future turn. However, we will go crazy, and it is possible we will kill them on this turn, if our draw is good enough. Oh, the calamity is here. Alright, I know what's going on. So this will be a 1 turn kill on the next turn. So I think we actually need to go super hard on this. I think we have to kill him on this turn. We have 2 creatures that can attack. We'll draw cards with the Innocence. Okay, this is a nice card. This is a good land as well. Not an enchantment. So, what do we want to go for? Probably we start with Glimmer. And then see what happens. Let's start doing extra cards. Oh, we also get the discount, right? Okay, not the best draw in the world. But we can make it work. So, if we attack here, definitely going with Feather. Let's go on the Creeper. So basically we want to get Ethereal Armor, I think. Alright, we're not getting it. Sheltered. Like, this kinda makes a difference still, I think. Lifelink means that they need to burn more through us. So we get rid of the Overlord. Oh, that was exactly the card. If we get to cast this, that would be insane. Alright, still. I hope we won't die, but they can deal insane amount of damage, so I actually think we are dead. Glimmer, we cannot discount anything. Counters are kinda okay, I guess. Let's go for the counters, but it won't work. Let's get rid of the land. It will be way too slow. Man, this actually was really painful for us. Yep, and I think they will deal like 50 damage on this turn. Yep, here comes the horse. But I don't think it's lethal yet, right? Repeat this process once. Maybe they cast something? Alright. I think they're just trying to... Okay, I think they don't have the full combo. They're trying to draw those cards so they can prepare for the next turn, but I don't think there will be a next turn. Like, not with this, not with those cards. And this is what? 16 damage, sure. I actually want the discount a lot. And they cannot cast too much here. Alright. Is that it? Do we win the game? Cat. Alright. What is the cat? I have no idea. Alright, and now we kill them. Right, we are going first. We have the Scavenger into the Verge. So we can go with the Tamer. Even though we don't have enchantments, like too many enchantments right now, we have all the synergies, so when we start going, it should be pretty strong. And we are against the only true deck of Magic. Mono red, reigning over standard for over a year, but it's not an issue. Alright, so what we are going is Tamer into Plains, so we can play the Rescue. Then we go Hallcreeper and we start ramping the board. We would love to draw something that gets us card advantage. Wow, they got another one. Imagine, very often they play 2 shocks in the whole game, or in the whole deck, so I didn't expect that they will be so good to actually draw it. With this situation, I think we go Tracker first, because we can draw this, into land, into something for 1 mana potentially on the next turn. We are pretty short on value, so we need to, be aggressive here. And I don't think we can block this unless they tap fully. If they have open mana, we kinda need to give this hit up. Even though there is a chance they have nothing, I cannot risk it. I think they have nothing. So we would probably get a free trade here, but we're in a situation which is fine. They got the priority, so it might be the burn together, whatever it's called. This is extremely strong card. Do we have time to set up more? I know what happens, so I will mute him in advance. We could go Tamer into Rescue and then go crazy on the next turn, or we can just go with this and then we will see, I guess, Hexproof. Yeah, I think with this, there's no way they can deal enough damage. The idea is that this gives double strike. If you remove the double striking part, this is too weak to deal so much damage on so little cards. Okay, this is okay. Honestly, this is a good one. With Hallcreeper we are getting board advantage, we are life gaining, and we even have a blocker. We won't use it because we are at 20, and on 4 mana, 1 Swift Spear, I don't think they can deal 20 damage. Like, they can pump it with like double Monstrous Rage, so it's like +6 because there's other Monstrous Rage right now. So this will be 7, 8, 9 with Prowess, and then 9 + 10. So they can actually deal 19 damage on 3 mana and 3 cards, and with single 1-drop, which I think is fine. I think if your 1-drop cannot even deal 20 damage, it's just weird. Alright, our opponent is thinking, because he's counting Lethal right now, on 20 damage with 1 Swift Spear. That's my guess. Otherwise, he's just salty and he's roping. Alright, Swift Spear. Good job, you swing all. Who would think? I'm not blocking because if they have enough damage, that's Monstrous Rage, so they get trample, and 1 damage doesn't make a difference. It's better to just draw a card with this. Another mouse. So they are setting up for the next turn, and I don't think it will work out for them. So, what we have to do... I think we actually will go with this one. Because I want to know what we get. If we get Ethereal Armor or something, we win instantly, basically. And it still amplifies the lifelink, so it's kinda worth it. Our opponent is super meticulous with his plays. They are so perfected. We can play it always later, right? This is a 4-3, so we can trade against the mouse. I think with double strike they can actually kill us, probably. Yeah, we have to attack and we'll draw a card and see what happens. Do I go with this? I won't be able to play anything else. Anything else. We draw a card, but that's it. Alright, I will try it and block Swift Spear, so they lose part of the damage. I honestly don't really think it's needed, but we'll try. It should give more than... So we paid 1 life and we are getting basically 3 life. Well, this was the type of card I really wanted. This would be perfect. So, yeah, a little bit rough. So this is their chance. We kinda whiffed on this turn. And, I mean, you are not bro, you are not blocking. We all know you will never block. You will just pass. You will take the damage, swing call, and pump everything on double striking mouse. You cannot block this. This has text, bro. There are more to those cards than just those 2 numbers. Then mono-red players are just complaining that, man, control players are thinking so long. At least we have cards in hand, you know? Alright, so what we are going here? I think we're just drawing a card. It won't matter. It won't matter. Yeah, we just draw a card. It also won't matter, to be honest. Yep. When you play mono-red, you need to be sure that you play the game as slowly as possible, so your only advantage of this deck is just absolutely wasted away. You know, you need to play the most boring deck, but you also need to play it the slowest, so you get no advantages. He is having a Jace avatar, so you know he's main decking mono-red. Every game, every day, since months probably. So what they will do, after all of this thinking, they will pump the mouse to oblivion, give it trample and double strike, and then they will attack. And they will see if the number on this is half as big as this one. And that's it. We will go with Swift Spear block, because every time they pump this, they also pump Swift Spear, so we basically should negate more than 3 damage. If they cast Monstrous Rage on this one to give it trample, they're wasting second time this whole damage, right? Because they can go with the mouse. Bro, come on. How long can it take to play a creature and pump spells? Oh my god, and they made the worst play possible. Oh, mono-red is getting me, bro. Like, really, they are thinking so long, and every time they make the worst play anyway. So, what we will do is go Scavenger. We will show our opponent how to play Magic, because they seem to not be familiar with it. We pump this one. Every pump on the lifelink is easier and easier. Now we go with this one. We have to go with it. I would love the Innocence, but we are not getting there. You know what? With this play, we are drawing more cards. This is actually better, because we can draw the Ethereal and, you know, Armor that will win the game on the spot. It's not here. It's not here. Sure. Let's go with this one then. All right, we are pumping it to absolute oblivion. All right, that was the card that wins the game, by the way. So, we have to attack, I think, because the double strike might deny the lifelink, so I don't think it's worth it. And then we leave the rest for blocking, because our opponent cannot win on the next turn. So, as you can... By the way, those were 2 cards that we are trying to find. those were game-winning cards. Let's go like this. Alright. Man, mono-red is getting me. The fact that it's still here just blows my mind right now. So, let's give our opponent, you know, like 15 minutes to figure this one out, and in the end they will swing call, give double strike to mouse and pump the creatures. Or, if they see the number not big enough, they will scoop. Those are the 2 options. Alright, cool. So how do we block? It doesn't matter too much. We'll just block 1 and 1. So they need to give trample to both of the creatures. Oh my god, this is the most painful, slow mono-red player I have ever seen, man. Alright. If they don't have trample, they can scoop as well, because they are dying on the next turn. So the only reason to even attack is that this has trample. Yep. Now you need to play another card. Until this number is 12. Well, they gave trample to the double striker. And now they lose the game, right? They have the sacrifice effect, but it's not huge enough because they didn't pump this enough. I think they have burned together and it's only 6 damage. Bro. let's give him the spoiler alert, because they don't know what's going on, but we do. Bruh. We predicted everything this guy is doing 2 minutes in advance. So let's show him the real power of magic. Yep. Well, now you see. Alright, our opponent is on the play with some Nightmares. So what do we discard? I think Ghostly Dancers, just because if they're on the play with this card deck, there's no way we get to this point. And then we will see, We can curve this into this, but it's very optimistic. They still have 1 black mana, so another Nightmare can be happening. Alright. Alright. Man, this is so tempting, right? I think we go like this because we want some extra cards and I expected a cut down, to be absolutely honest. So I thought this will die at the end step. We are also not guaranteed that on the next turn we can get too much value from this. This is not an enchantment, so it doesn't get discounted. Perfect, absolutely perfect draw. Alright, this has flash, right? Yeah, let's attack. This will probably trigger a removal. However, I want to play Tracker. Because if we get this into the board, we win the game super quickly. And we'll also, this is also an enchantment, so potentially we can go this into this, draw 2 cards and basically win the game at this point. They're going for the Scry. I think they might be searching for Sharded because this is their 4 mana play. And they know that our deck doesn't run too many interactions. However, let's see if they can get it. If they do it, they still tap. Sure, that's fine. I think this will be Tamer. They still need to kinda kill it, like we can get extra value with this. I think they will wait with their go for the throat, so unfortunate. Okay, perfect. This is so good, man. This is actually so good. So how do we go about it? We need to decide. This is something I definitely want. I think we go this into this, but we need correct mana for it. I would love to get Curiosity, man. Like, this is such a great card, but we cannot cast it on this turn. So I think we unfortunately need to sacrifice it for the greater sake. Okay, a tap land. Yeah, like they don't know how next turn will be absolutely dominating for us. So they're trying to go card for the whole game. But when you get this kind of interaction, like you skyrocket your card advantage. If we draw a land, correct one, we drew the correct land. And this is huge. And let's start drawing cards. And now we absolutely skyrocket through this guy. So they will probably kill it on the next turn. Oh, this is a very bad draw. Very, very bad draw. Let's go with this one, because they want to kill Tracker. So let's make sure that there are other problems for our opponent. This is so good. Alright, this is a good one. We don't have enough white mana, that's fine. Alright, so we start the attack. We are still 3 cards to 3, but look at our board. This is where our advantage is. I really want this, man. If we can get this going, this would be great, because they have to kill Tracker. This is basically the most powerful card of the deck, and then we need to replace it. We are getting absolutely flooded. Like, we play very little lands, and we are doing way too many. However, we'll have to attack with everything. Let's see. No blockers, probably. Oh, alright, they want to trade. And I mean, if they have removal, that's really good for them, but we still get the enchantment part. And if they don't, I think we won the game. They cannot outvalue this. Like, look at this stuff, man. Man, this is actually cheating. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm drawing 3 cards just by hitting his face. Alright, we're going first. We have an interesting hand. We don't have, unfortunately, the card advantage from anything. This also won't give all the mana, so we will need to be careful. I think we still go with the Scavenger into Tamer. That's a good start, and then we start pumping, depending on what's going on. Oh boy, Skeletons! I don't think Skeletons is a big problem for us. So first, the setup. And then we start ramping, because they really want to play their 2-drop. They probably don't want to leave, mana for go for the throat, even though they kinda have to kill something. This is so good, man. So basically, our deck is scaling way harder than theirs, and I think we should be able to very easily, just overpower them, basically. Let's get the enchantment. What do I want? White mana here, I think. Let's start getting some extra value here. Do we go with Tamer and try to raise them? I guess so. I will try it. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, but we'll try it. Because this is already a lot of damage. Their next play is this 3 mana skeleton amplifier, this enchantment. Yeah, I think we go like this. We cannot block this one because of menace, but this deals so much damage. This cannot block? Yep, this cannot block. I think we're actually trying to raise them, because our deck deals more damage, especially with Lair. We already have another trigger. And this land is kinda insane in enchantment decks. See, they kinda had the perfect opening. Turn 1 miner into case, potentially into 3 mana skeleton with haste, and that's just not quick enough. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed. This was very action-packed, and I have to say that it's pretty enjoyable archetype to play. With Tracker, if you ever wanted to keep drawing cards forever, I mean, you don't need to play control. This one does it better, to be honest. And the cool part is that most of the games you have seen, opponent just scoops because he knows he's too far behind, but you are actually just getting started with the value train. We are not even showing the full potential, and with things like Lair that I really like in this kind of deck, you actually can even redraw cards after playing land. And don't forget, we never did it, but you can copy Entity Tracker with Hallcreeper, and you can even supplement it with Innocence and Curiosity, and you will be basically drawing full new hand every single turn. So yeah, that's pretty fun for us. And before we go further, because I have some thoughts after playing with this deck, I want to say huge thank you to our amazing Patreon supporters. Thank you guys for continuous support. It is really extremely appreciated. So yeah, what about this deck? Some of you will notice that the mana base in the video was different. We had Fountain Port. So I started with like 3 or 4. Then I realized I literally never used any ability, and it actually lost us games. One of the games you have seen, I'm not sure if it was won or lost, but we didn't make the final winning play because we lacked the mana. This deck is extremely color intensive. Look at this. 10 cards for a single white mana. Most of the time you don't want too many, blue ticks, you want all the white mana, and enough to just cast Tracker, Hallcreeper, and maybe Curiosity in the supreme late game. But even things like Glimmer are super intense on the mana colors. You need to care about what you play, in what order. Don't forget, some of them gets discount, so in a way you pay 1 mana for all of those as well if you have the Glimmer, and suddenly you need to really think about this, like every point of mana that you are using. This was removed, and I think it makes it way more consistent. I really like the Lair in this deck. Tamer is an interesting one. It's only uncommon, but it feels like one of the main cards. So basically Tracker is the most important card of this deck. Without Tracker, the deck plays completely different. Even though you have those 2 engines, they are working differently. You want something that keeps redrawing enchantments every time you play them. So yeah, Tracker is something you probably need to care about in your opening hand. I wouldn't just mulligan for it, but you need to, play accordingly with this one. Hallcreeper helps a little bit because it's enchantment, so it triggers everything, and then you attack and draw a card. Most of the time it's not target big enough that your opponent focuses on it, but it still creeps, at some point it's creeping more and more until they need to handle it. But those tokens with Tamer are really great because you have enchantment targets, and also because they are 1/1s, they trigger all the Enduring Innocence triggers, while also creating potentially card advantage with the Curiosity. So you have like 2 game plans. One is enchantment, and second is just creating a whiteboard of small gremlins and getting the white advantage from those cards. So yeah, I really like the deck. I think it's fun, it's powerful, and it has proven results overall. So if you wanted something else in Azorius, this might be the deck for you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and yeah, see you tomorrow.